It is so important for you, especially if you have been trying to grasp what has been going on regarding the Diddy case, to understand it's not about the Diddy case. It's not about the particular facts that have been adduced and repeated to the point of exhaustion. It's deeper. And this is what you have to know to really grasp this. Because this is about the message. This is about propaganda. It all starts with a fellow by the name of Edward Bernays, kind of like the sauce, but spelled Bernays. Now, for those of us in the conspiratorium, we know who he is, but in the event you haven't, he is called the father of public relations, but more accurately, he is the architect of modern manipulation, and that's what this is about. He's the man who took his uncle Sigmund Freud's insights into the unconscious mind and weaponized them, not for healing, but for control. See, Bernays understood something most still refuse to admit. If you can shape emotion, you can bypass logic. If you can bypass logic, you can control behavior. That's what this is about. This is the part that I can tell you this. You're not going to hear this on TMZ or Harvey 11 or anybody else. And I want you to pair that with the entertainment industry. And what you have is something which is really critical here. This isn't just about Diddy. This is something more. See, he's the puppet. He's the consequence. See, the real story is what created him and what protects him to this day. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about an entire, and I hate to use this word, ecosystem engineered through propaganda to normalize depravity, to invert morality, and reward submission to a system that, in essence, thrives on secrecy and exploitation and ritual. I want you to look further, look deeper. Entertainment is not passive. The industry. It is not escapism. It is the most effective delivery system for psychological conditioning ever. Ever devised. And Bernays laid the blueprint. He advised corporations and governments to stop selling products, but to start selling desire. Stop promoting, say, ideas, and start manipulating identities. See, it's not enough for people to like something. They have to need it. They must merge with it. They have to idolize it. Is this starting to make sense? Now imagine this strategy turned loose in Hollywood, in the music industry, on social media. And what do you get? Guess. You get ritualism. Ritualism disguised as rebellion. You get this Luciferian iconography. You've seen these before. All of this devil nonsense. And this on national television. And they call it art. You get trauma-based mind control, relabeled as celebrity breakdowns. You get child stars sold into stardom and broken by design. You get a society trained to worship the predator class because their handlers told them it's cool, it's progressive, or it's glamorous. This is where Diddy comes in. Not as an innovator, but as a product, as a recruiter, as an enforcer of a hierarchy that uses sex as currency and uses humiliation as bonding and depravity of status. Let's be very blunt here. The highest levels of entertainment are indistinguishable from a spiritual war zone. But don't picture, cloaked figures in candlelit basements. Oh, no. Picture executives in corner offices, the C-suite group, agents and stylists and producers and PR specialists who know exactly what happens behind closed doors, but do nothing. Because they're in on it. Because they benefit. You see, Edward Bernays taught us and taught them that reality is optional when you own the narrative. And the narrative today is this: fame is power, fame is pleasure at any cost. That's the gospel of the entertainment elite. And that's why Diddy's parties, the freak-offs, according to countless, people and whisperers and now court filings, weren't just about drugs or sex. They were rituals, initiation. They were tests of loyalty. You don't make it to the top unless someone has something on you. That's how the system enforces silence. But you know this. Well, maybe you don't know this. We knew this. Welcome to the conspiratorium. And it's the logic of blackmail, but spiritualized. It's MK Ultra with a Grammy. So why do you think symbolism matters so much in these circles? Why the fixation on checkerboard floors and goat heads and Baphomet statues and pyramids, all seeing eyes, upside down crosses, spirit cooking, blood imagery? You think this is by accident? Ceremonial humiliation, Cassie kicked, beaten like a dog. This is beyond cult. This is wicked. Because at its core, this isn't just about money. It's about inversion. Invert the sacred, celebrate the profane, turn beauty into perversions, and virtue into weakness. This starting to make sense to you? You see, in Bernays' world, the goal is to bypass reason. But in their world, the one that Diddy operated in, the goal is to bypass conscience. You see, this is why people talk about Satanism in Hollywood. And not because of, goat sacrifices or whatever the hell it is, but because the ideology of Satan, pure ego and domination and inversion of truth. This is the dominant operating system. Whether they know it or not, many of these players, many of these people serve it. Not metaphorically, not in jest, but materially. Through the degradation of others, especially women. Through ritual abuse, through orchestrated trauma. Now, let's not be naive, my friends. The ancient world knew all about this. Caligula knew. Nero knew. Every decaying empire turns to orgiastic horror before it dies. Rome had its bread and circuses, Juvenal, its pedophilic elites, its sacrifices to false gods, and now so do we. Except ours come in 4K with a soundtrack and a vodka line. You see, this is the world Diddy helped build, or at least enforced. That's why this case matters, because it tears the veil. And when you look at him now, not as a rapper or as a mogul, but as a high priest in the Church of Caligula, think what I'm saying, you see what Edward Bernays warned about. A population groomed to love its chains, to laugh at suffering, to cheer for monsters, to call demonic abuse just business or celebrity culture. Let me ask you this. What happens when the masses can no longer tell the difference between entertainment and enslavement? Between glamour and grooming? See, what happens is they become livestock, and cattle, and owned and controlled. This is not hysteria. It's pattern recognition. From Epstein's Island to Weinstein's casting couch to Nickelodeon's silent corridors. Remember that? The signs are everywhere. The symbols are open. The handlers are smug. And the public, numb, distracted, programmed. Edward Bernays knew it could happen. He warned that the conscious manipulation of the masses was not just possible, but inevitable, unless people woke up. So let's wake up. You wake up. Tell them to wake up. Diddy isn't a fluke. He's a portal. He's a prism. Look through him, not at him. Look at the industry that crowned him, at the victims it buried, at the networks it protects. Follow the NDAs. Follow the settlements. Follow the careers that disappeared when people asked the wrong questions to the wrong people. Why do you think this has gone on for so long? Why do they keep paying all this money? It must mean a lot to them. It must really mean something. Why don't they just pull up stake and say, that's enough, we're going to move on? Not now. Take it more underground or something, or stop it altogether. They need this. And they're willing to pay billions to keep this up. Why do you think that is? And for God's sake, stop calling it a conspiracy theory when the theory becomes fact every goddamn day. Let me put it to you this way. If the Romans had Instagram, they'd be doing exactly what we're doing now. Idolizing perverts and worshiping death, painting their chains in gold, as they say. This isn't just a fall from grace. It's a revelation, my friends. It's a revelation of what grace was always masking. And Diddy? He's just the opening act. He's just the tip of the iceberg. Listen to what I'm saying. If you think this is about just some celebrity court case, you're missing the point. Join me. Stick with me. Let me keep going through this with you. Now that circus is over, let's go through the acts of the opera. Let's see what they were saying. Let's see what it means. Let's see where this goes, how deep it goes, and who benefits and what's next. I would be honored if you liked this video. Liking the video, this is our metrics. This is what puts us on the map. It also puts us into a world where other people get to see us and they're recommended. Please subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And more importantly, subscribe. We found out that 80% of the people who watch us don't subscribe. Focus, my friends. Because what we're going to discuss is what the mainstream media, what the bought and sold media, what the deep state media, what the shadow government media are told never to bring up. And it's called the truth. I'd like to see your comments. I've got some questions for you to answer. So do me a favor, my friends. Please review this and comment as you see fit.